like I said, we've come a long way over the last 4 lessons. We have solved some problems, word problems in trigonometry. We had to draw our own diagram in the previous lesson. We were just given the words and then we had to draw the diagram. So today we are going to step it up and we are going to tackle some more advanced trig problems. Okay, so today we are really going to just try and have some fun. Okay, just try and when you see the problem, just try something, just give it a go. And yeah, so that's how we are. I want you to approach these more complex problems with an open mind and a positive attitude, because we need to do some of the hard things as well. We can't just always do the easier stuff. We must tackle the hard things as well, because that is really how we grow and develop. Okay, so let's see our first problem as we start. Let's go. Okay, so it says that the height of a model of the Eiffel Tower is 12 centimeters. The angle the base makes with the diagonal is 75 degrees. Calculate the length of the base of the tower. Okay, so this is a little warm-up for everyone who's been here and everyone who's joining for the first time. Let's get going. The length of the base of the tower. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to try the problem on your own. Have your pen, paper, calculator there with you, and then we'll check in at about 17:14. That's the time I've got here, so 17:14. But give it a go. Try it and see if you can solve this one. Can I just also ask veteran Watobians, those of you who have been here before, just hold your answer. Don't post it in the chat yet. Just hold it until I ask you to post it. Okay, if you have got an answer, you're welcome to start posting. Put your answer in the chat if you've got it. Okay, well done. It seems like quite a few of you got that one. Let's see. Let's remind ourselves again, if you needed to maybe be reminded, or if you haven't been here before. So let's start by labeling our sides. So this is the hypotenuse side. This is the opposite side from the 75 degrees, and this is the adjacent side. So since we've got the opposite side and we need to calculate the adjacent side, we're going to use those two sides, opposite and adjacent. That is tan. Tan of 75 degrees is going to be 12 over a. You could have called it a different variable. It's all up to you. We times by a on both sides. And then we divide the 12 by the tan, 75 degrees. And we get 3,22 centimeters. Okay, wonderful. Let's see. Okay, Lassie, you got that. Well done. Okay, good job. So that was a little warm up. Let's get going on the next question. So remember how we did last time? I want you to read the question. And then as soon as you're done reading, put your reading face, your reading emoji in the chat so that I know you are done reading the question. Okay, while everyone's reading, Georgia Lynn, you can ask your question. I see you have your hand up. Georgia Lynn, you can unmute and ask your question.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Could you please go back up to the first slide? I just like to take a screenshot. I'm a bit late.
Okay, we're just gonna wait for everyone to read so long, and then I'll scroll back up again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, it seems like we've got quite a few reading faces already. Okay, so a block of flats is 200 meters away from a cell phone tower. Someone stands at B. They measure the angle from B to the top of the tower, E, to be 34 degrees, the angle of elevation. They then measure the angle from B to the bottom of the tower to be 62, the angle of depression. What is the height of the cell phone tower? Correct to the nearest meter. So the height of the cell phone tower is the measurement from C to E. By the way, CE is the height of the cell phone tower. Okay, so when we get a problem like this, we need to take a moment and just devise a plan. How are we going to solve this? What am I being asked for? What am I asked to do? And what can I do with the information that is given? And how can that help me to solve the problem? Okay, so let's see. Does anyone want to make a plan, make a suggestion about how to approach this? Where do we start? Right, Bookham, also go for it. You have your hand up. Where are we going to start?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
According to what I am seeing, I think that maybe we should try to break up the whole thing in pieces, meaning work just work apart, break everything apart. So according to me, I think that we should first start by solving the BE, the angle BED, and then that triangle BED, and then from there try to work out what BDC can be, And then just to confirm, try to work out what our angle, what the height can be from BAC.
Okay. I like your thinking. I like that we are going to break it up into parts, and I'm going to take that idea of you and say, let's say that CE consists of ED plus DC. Why can't we launch straight into solving for CE? Because the problem is that CE does not lie in a 90-degree triangle. But what we can do is break it up and find what ED is and also what DC is. And that way we can know. All right. So let's start there. And our first step can be, I think what we should also do maybe is look for some parts of the information that we can work with. So we like that is 34 degrees. But to solve for ED, what problem do we encounter now if we want to solve for ED in this triangle here? We need a length of a side, right? Because we only have an angle. Do we have a length of a side? Does anyone want to tell me if there's a length of a side that we can use there? The length of BD, do we know what that is? Bokamusa, I'm just going to give someone else a chance, okay? Is there someone else who wants to tell us? Georgia Lynn, go for it. What do you think BD is equal to?
200 meters, ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay, so BD is 200 meters. Okay, so that's how we take it step by step. We just read the question a few times and then we start thinking. And this breaking our length into pieces so that we can solve it bit by bit is a really good strategy that works for a lot of these problems in trigonometry. We're going to do another one just now and you'll see that it works really nicely. Okay, so that's 200. So that means we can solve for ED. So let's start there. So ED, I'm going to say, is opposite, and this is adjacent, and that is hypotenuse. So it seems like another tan day, Ms. Coco. We're using tan again. So opposite and adjacent for 34 degrees. You're very right, Sianda. We are going to use SOHCAHTOA, and in this case, we're going to use tan because we want side ED, and we divide by 200 because it's opposite over adjacent. Okay, and I hope you are working out with me. Definitely take screenshots. You are free to do that. I don't think it's a good idea to frantically try and write the whole thing down, but you can make a rough sketch of the problem. So then ED is 200 times tan of 34. And that gives me 134,9. And our unit is meters. Okay. Right, Georgia Lynn, let's hear. Do you want to ask another question?
Hi, ma'am. I wanted to know, how do you put the equation into the calculator? Because when I tried to do the test last week, I couldn't change it into the calculator form.
Okay, so first of all, I think you need to check, and everyone, if you're not getting this answer, we literally just go 200 times tan 34 and press the equal button. And equal, and then you should get 134,9. So just check that your calculator is in the right mode. If you're not getting this after you've pressed 200 times tan 34 and equal, then maybe your calculator is not in the right mode and you need to reset it. If you are having, if you've done this now and you've checked and everything and you're having continued trouble, please just chat to Ms. Coco. She will also be able to help you with your calculator. Okay, so I see some people are saying that they are lost. Yeah, we are just working out. We need the length. I'll quickly recap. We need the length of CE in the diagram. We can't just go straight into calculating CE because it's not in a right angle triangle. For a right angle triangle, for trigonometry, we need a right angle triangle. So like Waukom also said, let's break up CE into the length of ED plus the length of DC. And then ED is opposite. We're going to work it out using trigonometry. BD is also 200. The 200 comes from here where AC is. And then tan of 34 is opposite over adjacent. And that is ED over 200. And then you work it out with your calculator. Okay, I'm going to give everyone a chance to work out now what DC is, the length of DC. Do that now. We'll check back in about 2 minutes. I know some of you have done it already. Just hang tight. We're just going to give everyone a chance to quickly do that. Also, Watobians, make sure that you work with us as we go. It will help that you don't feel too lost. As we go through all the steps, just concentrate and focus and do everything with us. Write everything down. Listen to all the questions and the explanations. Okay, and as soon as you have, some of you have posted the length of DC in the chat. So as soon as you have the length of DC, pop it in the chat. Let's see. We are rounding to the nearest meter, it says. Okay, so I'm going to change my ED to 135. Pop your answer in the chat. Okay, some are getting 376. Are we all getting 376? Lots of answers. Come everyone, work it out. Okay. So I'm just going to change color. And now we are going to work in triangle BDC. So in triangle BDC, we first, for those of you who are new and have not been here for the last few lessons, what we always do first is label our sides. So for the 62, we are now working in the purple triangle. DC will be opposite. This is across from the 90 degrees. BC is our hypotenuse. And then BD is going to be adjacent. So we want to solve for the opposite side, which is DC, and we have the adjacent side, that is BD. So because we are working with opposites and adjacent, we're going to use tan again. Tan of 62 is DC over 200.
Just tans everywhere today, ma'am.
Yeah. And then we multiply the tan 62 by 200 to get our DC by itself. And then DC is, oh, I hope I get the same answer as everyone else. I hope I'm doing this right. Oh, yes, 376. Well done, everyone. I definitely agree with you, 376. So back to the original question, which was, what is the height of the cell phone tower? So we need to add those two lengths together to get CE. And that's 135 plus 376. And that is equal to 135 plus 376. That gives me 511 meters. Okay, so we are doing it to the nearest meter, so make sure that you put your 511. Look at that. Wonderful, everyone. I see lots of answers that are correct. Really, really nice. Well done. See, these trig problems are not so bad. Not so bad. Well done. That means we are ready for another one, I think. Well done, Andile. Bokamoso, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. Just so that I do not fight with my head here a little bit, name. I just want to confirm something. So the reason why we only looked at DC. Wait. Yeah, the only reason why we only looked at at ED and DC was because we were looking for the specific length of CE, right? So meaning that triangle, the first one there at the bottom, BAC, is not, well, it doesn't apply. It's not applicable. We're not using it here. It doesn't exist, right?
No, we could have used it. I don't want to confuse anyone, but we could have used it because this is also 62, and then we could have worked out BA, and BA is equal to DC as well because this is a rectangle, but we didn't need to. It was quicker just to do it this way.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to confirm. I don't want to fight with my head.
Don't fight with your head. It's all good. Thanks, Bokamoso. Right, let's tackle this one. I think this is a good one. This is a nice one. Okay, so once again, we are going to read and put your reading emoji in the chat. This one, when you are done reading. Okay, so read the whole question. And I think what you should also do is make a quick sketch of the problem. And then let us know when you are done. Guys are reading too fast, okay? You must read it carefully and understand what the question is asking. And if you are done reading, I want you to also now start thinking of a plan. How are we going to solve this problem? Definitely make a quick rough sketch there on your page where you are working. And then start thinking of a plan, a strategy. A is the right angle, Zianda, definitely. Okay, I need to see more emojis in the chat. Who is still reading? Now, I'm not surprised people are taking a while to read. Okay. Okay, so now people have read. Now, the next one is for you to make a rough sketch and to think of your strategy. And that means you need to put your thinking cap on. So once you have read the problem, made your rough sketch, and think you've got a plan for working this out, put your cap emoji in the chat. Let us know that you have put your thinking cap on and that you have a plan to solve this problem. Yes, Simamkele, what are you thinking? Or what do you want to ask? Oh, was that an accident? Oh, no. Are you asking?
Simamkele, if you're a little afraid to speak, then you can always just put your question in the chat and we'll be able to see it.
Yes, absolutely. Itimaling, what is it with you and your emojis? Okay, now Bentley, just listen carefully to the instructions. So the instruction is to now make a quick sketch of the problem. So to basically copy the sketch down. and to come up with a strategy, a plan for how you are going to solve the problem. Okay. So no answers yet, anyone? Don't use a ruler. It is not drawn. Oh, to sketch. That's not a bad idea to use a ruler. Yes, definitely use a ruler. Yes, Onkarabile, A is definitely a right angle. Bukamuso, are you fighting in your head again? Let's hear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am. I am most definitely fighting in my head again. Okay, so the first question says write down the size of KDA. Now, my head is telling me that the way I am seeing this, D is going to be equals to 11 degrees. Am I right or am I wrong?
Okay, but I don't want to hear answers yet, okay? I just want you to think now, just to put your thinking cap on. Okay, so thanks for that. I think you've helped everyone by saying that. But for now, you must just put your thinking cap on, okay? Someone else had their hand up. Where's Sean? He had his hand up. Okay. No, Michelle, this sketch is not drawn to scale, so you need to use trigonometry. Okay, I'm going to give everyone 1 more minute to think. No, Andile, no answers yet. I just want you to think and have a plan for how you're going to solve this. Okay, let's see. Time is up. I hope you have all been thinking. Next time we'll try a little bit harder with our thinking caps. So it says that a jet is at K directly flying over point A on the ground at a height of 6 meters. Now, one thing you must remember that we said you must do is to always read and then make sure that you transfer everything that's written to your sketch, because we're not going to work with the words, we're going to work with the sketch. So it is directly above point A at a height of 6 kilometers. So this is 6 kilometers. KA is 6 kilometers. The angle of depression from K to D is 11, and some of you spotted that correctly. That means that angle KDA is also 11 degrees. So that answers our first question already, that KDA is 11 degrees. Why? Because it is the angle of depression from K, and these lines are parallel. So they're basically alternate angles. And that is what Sean said. That is correct. Okay. T is a point along the route from A to D. Answer the questions that follow below. Okay, so determine the distance from K to D. So from K to D, let's work it out now. AT, someone's saying AT. Yeah, let's wait a little bit. Let's go one by one. We are now solving for the distance from K to D. Put in the chat for me, which trigonometric ratio are we going to use to solve KD? Andile says sine. Anyone else? Any other suggestions? Buchle also says sine. How do we know that it is sine? Because it is the opposite. So we're going to label our sides again. And I'm going to work in the blue triangle. And this is opposite and adjacent and hypotenuse. So because we have the opposite side, we want to solve the hypotenuse side. That is why we are using sine of 11 degrees is 6 over KD. So now we times by KD on both sides because we need to get the KD by itself. And then KD is 6 divided by sine 11. And that gives you, let's see, everyone work it out and post it in the chat when you are done. Okay, we're working to 2 decimal places. 6 divided by sine of 11 gives me 31,45. Okay, good stuff. Lots of you got that one right. Now, this is where we're really going to need our thinking cap. So have your thinking cap ready. And if the distance of TD is 18 kilometers, so I'm just going to clean our sketch up a little bit with all of this here, just so that it doesn't cause any confusion. So the question is, if the distance of TD is 18 kilometers, calculate the distance of AT. Okay, so we're going to fill in what we found. KD is 31,45. How are we going to figure out what the distance of AT is if TD, this distance here, is 18 kilometers? How will we figure out what AT is? And think back what we just did with the tower. We broke the distances up into parts. So how can we figure out what AT is? Anyone want to post in the chat or raise your hand? Let me know what you're thinking. Ah, there's Itumeleng. Go for it, Itumeleng. Tell me what you're thinking.
Okay, so ma'am, hi ma'am, by the way.
Hello.
So ma'am, I think we're gonna use the 11 degrees for KDA.
Yeah.
To find the length 80, and then when we get that length, we're gonna subtract 18 from that length.
Okay, well done. Yeah, that's a really nice plan. I like that plan. So we can go 2.1.3 and say that AD, so we're using that same plan of breaking the lengths up. AD is equal to AT plus TD. Okay, so it's made up of 2 parts. It's AT and AD. AT is the one we are looking for. We have TD. TD, they've given us is 18 kilometers. Can we find AD? And we can indeed. We can again use our trigonometry to find what AD is. We can use trigonometry. And what other way can we find the length of AD since we now have KA and KD? We can also use Pythagoras as another way of solving for AD. But I'm going to go with trig, like I said last time. It's just so much quicker. I find it quicker anyway. So some of you are saying cos, some of you are saying tan. Which one is it? We want side AD, so that's the adjacent side. We have side KA, that's the opposite side. So again, we can use tan, but some of you are also saying cos, and that will be right too, because AD, and we have the hypotenuse side KD. Okay, so there's 3 ways to solve for AD. Okay, so we can use cos of 11, we can use tan of 11, or we can use Pythagoras. So now I want you to choose a way and solve for side AD using any one of those 3 ways. Yeah, choose your own way and then go for it. Solve for AD. You can use Pythagoras, you can use cos of 11 degrees, or you can use tan of 11 degrees. It's up to you. And once you are ready, post your answer in the chat. Which way should we go, Ms. Coco? I mean, we've had so many tans today. Should we just stick to tan? Should we do some cos? Or should we do some Pythag? Which way should we go?
I would like us to use maybe sine, but you know, when you have questions like these, I always wonder if I've made a mistake somewhere in my calculation of KD. So I use the information they've given me in case somewhere I may have made a bit of a mistake. But that's just me. I think we could use like sine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with tan then.
All right.
Tan of 11 is 6 over AD. On Karabila, you can use Pythagoras if you want to. It's up to you. I'm going to use tan of 11 degrees. And then pop your answer in the chat, guys. Let's go quick. We are almost out of time, so let's go quick. Offensive, I think you just need to check your calculator work. 32,02. 30 more seconds. Pop your answer in the chat. Whoa, we're all getting different answers here. We should all be getting the same answer. Mabasa and okay. It looks like we are agreeing on 30.87. The 1,17, I think you need to check your calculations that you are doing it correctly. We're going to times by AD on both sides, and then we're going to divide the 6 by tan 11, and then AD is, let's see, once you have AD and you're confident, then you can go ahead and calculate AT, okay? So 6 divided by tan of 11 is 30,87. Yes, wonderful. And now we can calculate AT, because AT is just going to be AD minus TD. And that is 30,87 minus, what did we say TD was? 18. Minus 18. So final answer for AT is equal to, so it is 30,87 minus 18, and that's 12,87. Okay, Michelle, let's hear from you. Michelle, you have your hand up. We can hear you, Michelle. Please ask your question.
Oh, ma'am, you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to know, how do you calculate all this tan and cos and sin? Because I don't know how to do it.
Okay, Michelle, I think you might need to chat to Ms. Coco quickly about where you are and your progress, etc. And then she can also point you in the direction of our recordings, okay? Because there are some recordings that you can follow. Ms. Coco might just need to find out from you exactly which ones you need to watch. Okay, guys, we are almost out of time. I'm going to take some questions while we are running the poll. Ms. Coco, do you want to start the poll? And then I'm going to give Leah a chance because Leah hasn't had a chance today. Also, please feel free to put your question in the chat as well.
Oh, no, ma'am, Leah like lowered her hand, so I'm not sure if maybe there was a
Okay.
question.
Okay, Bokomoso, you've got 30 seconds.
Yes, ma'am, I wanted to ask Name. Okay, so seeing as every time when we want to find out an answer of something, for example, there in this case we said 6 divided by 10 of 11. So I would like to know when exactly in this kind of vergelijking and this kind of thing do you actually go to your calculator and use shift 10?
Only when you are calculating an angle, then you go shift 10.
Oh, so when I'm
Yeah.
calculating an angle, then I do the shift 10, but then when I'm just calculating the sides, I just use the 10, just moves from where it was going,
Yes.
but it stays the same.
Yes, exactly.
No
Okay.
problem.
Leah, I see your hand is back up. Let's give Leah a chance.
Hi, ma'am. So,
Hi.
there's like at times when we use, like, for example, the to work out the side when using 10, there are times we divide and there's times we will like multiply. So how do we know when to do which one?
It depends on what you are solving for. So if what you are solving for, like over here with the 10, 11, we are solving for AD. So if we want to solve for AD, we have to times by AD first to get the AD by itself. Okay, so if the AD is in the numerator, in the denominator of the fraction. And then I think we had another one over here earlier on. You see here we had tan 34 over here is ED over 200, and there we times by the 200 to get the ED by itself.
Yes,
Okay. You're welcome to take screenshots, everyone. It's not a problem. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Ms. Coco, have you got anything else?
No, I'm just done. I'm just missing a couple of people to take the poll for me. I think I've only got 85 answers out of 101, but I think that's it from our side.
Okay, please take the poll, everyone, and then we have to say our goodbyes. Ms. Coco and I are off to another class, so we'll see you again on Thursday.
Yes.
Okay.